Last week on Sailing Adrift, we sealed up all the cracks, holes, and blisters in our hull, making it more rock solid than ever. Hopefully.
See, we're not going for glamour shots here, Kelly. This is completely utilitarian.
I see that.
What's that supposed to mean?
Working our way through this epic punch list, we've got a lot to do in a short amount of time. Welcome to our front yard. It's less overgrown than the backyard, so we decided it would be a decent spot for prepping our mast and the boom. Our main mast is obviously the most awkward. It's made of aluminum and only weighs about 250 pounds, but it's over 40 feet long, so it can be a little difficult to manage.
Man, this mast is nasty. Look how dirty it is. But I did clean a big section of it, so it actually is cleaning up quite nicely there. We'll get it. There, much cleaner. Although I will say, there is a fair bit of staining when you get up close. I don't know if there's an easy way to get that stuff off of there, but it looks shiny from a distance. There is one thing that we're doing that I would like to show you. On the mast, there was some pit corrosion from before when it was up. Right here, it's pretty bad. But what we decided, my rigger Rich and I, is we had this aluminum kind of sheath made, and then we're going to clamp it in place and smear this with thickened epoxy after we get it cleaned up. It's already been pressure washed. Now we'll just clean up this area, smear some thickened epoxy in there, and then clamp this in place with the bolt going through it. And that should strengthen this enough to where we're not too terribly worried about it. I had one rigger tell me that I should have my whole mast replaced, and another one said that that would be really silly and expensive for no reason. So I am going to hopefully trust the one that was second, but do this as kind of a middling step in between. So I think today all I'm going to do is throw the clamps on that to really get this to conform to that shape in preparation for doing that. Hello.
Hi. What do you need that for?
Look, I have a brilliant idea. I tried first with zip ties. See this aluminum collar that we're going to install. Not under that much pressure. I'm being overly cautious, I hope. Also can't cut through it apparently.
You want some safety glasses just in case?
Well, I mean, that's the worst that's going to happen.
For that one, this one's going to be bigger.
Is it?
Yeah, more pressure. There. Done.
Okay, so this rod is going to ultimately be through here. But what we have to do is take some thickened epoxy.
Of course.
Drink.
Yep, your participation is required. Bottoms up whatever you're drinking every time Chris says epoxy.
It's a drinking game. And then smear it on this so that when this goes on here, it's all good. But before we do that, we have to put our through rod. Hold on. This is just a piece of aluminum tubing with a 1/2 inch hole and a 3/4 inch outside diameter. What we do is we slide that in here, and then this creates some compression resistance. So picture this, you've got nothing in here, and you take a bolt and you put it in here and you screw on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to make the mast want to smash in, right?
Oh, okay.
But this counters that by being rigid on the outside of the bolt. So when you tighten down the bolt, you're actually tightening it down on a pipe instead of a hollow mast.
Gotcha.
So that's what this for. This one will be the major point of compression, and then this one is more minor, so we'll just put a through bolt in that one. We don't need a sleeve. But we also put it at the upper tang up here. You want to see what we've done at the top of the mast?
Yeah, let's check out your tang.
Okay. So far what I've done probably represents about 10 hours of my life.
That's a
which
lot.
just shows how inefficient I've been so far. But it's a big learning process. So this is the top of the mast. It actually ends up going like this. And then we've got the sheaves, brand new sheaves that go up here, but they were the holes in the middle of them were a little too small, so I had to send them back to the guy who makes them. He needs to drill them out a little bit for me. So when those are installed, this whole thing will go back on. This backstay, split backstay tang, and this forestay tang are new. And they've been cleaned up and reinstalled. The top of it has the new mast light, which apparently does all around, which is for anchoring, red, green, white, and then it does a strobe feature. I don't know what the strobe feature is for. And then this piece right here is our wind instrument, which is this guy. Fits into that channel and sticks out the front. This whole thing goes on here. This is the bracket for the VHF antenna. And then I run all the wiring in the mast, but I haven't glued it down. You have to use kind of like a polyurethane glue. So what I'll do is spray it out really well to try to get any debris out. And then that will actually activate the polyurethane glue. Gorilla Glue. I'm sure there's a bunch of them, but it needs water to activate. So then we will run a bead down all these wires so that locks it in place. And then the only other thing I've done is half installed this tang, but I did get a new riveter and installed my first rivet right there, which is cool. This will be for the side stay. And we got to work our way down the mast, and that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay, you're just gonna start from the top and work your way down, huh? That's the game plan. Cool.
I'm going to get this all lined up and cut this flush, and then I'll clean this area up, give it a final scrub, although I have pressure washed it already. And then we'll fill this full of sticking epoxy, and then ratchet it down until I can get that pin through.
Cool.
And then this will be kind of done. The sleeve install anyway. We'll knock that pin back out, thread both ends, and then install the rest of the hardware at the spreaders. We also have to add the steaming light, which I'm hoping will fit right here.
What is a steaming light, you may ask? Well, let me tell you. A white forward-facing light on the mast that must be displayed by boats at night while operating under motor power.
So this is the pad from the original steaming light. This is a good illustration on how things have gotten, more efficient and smaller over time because this is our new steaming light.
Tiny.
The old one was like, whoa! And this one's like, hi everybody! I'm bright as You can see me from 2 nautical miles away, and I only draw 0.6 watts.
All right.
Pretty fascinating stuff.
Yes, it is.
Now we gotta kind of hurry because we do have a date to put the boat back in the water and a giant list of things to do before that date can happen. So we gotta knock out all of those. That's why I've been working on the bottom paint and the through holes and all of those things so that the boat, when it goes into the water, doesn't just go to the bottom. I hear that's bad.
It's good to have goals. Yep.
And then we'll start doing the other little projects.
All right.
Like the electrical and the engine wiring and all that stuff. Meanwhile, Kelly's working on the cosmetic stuff because it's still gotta look good, right?
Yes. We both get busy. Chris hacking away while I sand, stain, and varnish. Oh, right. Remember those orange straps?
Cross your fingers. We can get it to go down far enough. Is it going? Like, can you see it move? You look at that.
Yeah, it's going a little bit.
Wow, I'm strong.
Yeah. Broke some nylon there.
Huh. That's
That was
surprising.
Unexpected.
Well, I mean, it's not that far off. We got to be able to figure this out. Back to the drawing board. I'll let you know when I have complete success.
So far, Chris has had very little success getting that sleeve to line up. Stay tuned. Fortunately, this doesn't hold up the wiring part, so let's give that a go. First step, getting everything wet for the glue to activate. Next step, making sure the electrical lines are even and running perfectly parallel with each other. Now for the moment of truth. We really only get one shot at this, so cross your fingers. Last stretch.
That to put a bunch in down at this end just because I think that's where most of your traffic's going to be.
Makes sense.
Hopefully that works.
The cure time is roughly 24 hours, so here we are a day later. Glue is dried. Pulling on it. Seems to be passing the test. Nothing's moving. That is solid in place.
Welcome back. You know how hard it is to find all aluminum rivets, Kelly?
I don't know.
I do. I had to order 2 sets online, and they kept showing up with steel pins. These are called mandrels, and they're made of steel, which is just a big corrosion hazard. So now I'm trying to figure out. I've already done this work down here. Let me show you. Look at the sweet action on that.
Yeah.
That there's an Arco 16. It's our only non-self-tailing winches that we have. This work was just done by me.
Wow.
So you have an aluminum mast, aluminum plate, and aluminum rivets. So no corrosion.
How about that?
And then in between this and the aluminum, the steel bolts and the bronze pad on this, I used, I believe it's UHMF tape, which is like Teflon tape. So it creates a barrier between the two. Plus I used my Tef gel, which I believe is Teflon gel, if I'm not mistaken. How about that? I just made that connection.
Cool.
Maybe Tef gel is something else, but it seems kind of
On the nose.
well, yeah. Now I've got to figure out how to get this down inside, deep inside there.
Cool.
And then you got to help me rotate this whole mast so that we can glue the other side of wiring in.
Yep.
That will help power this steaming light
Yep, the steaming light.
and the light that will go on the spreaders.
You use that at night while you're motoring.
Okay.
Let's see if this works.
I'm trying to find something that'll help me tap this in without banging on the pin. The mandrel. I think it's working. Yeah, just like that.
Oh, the little things.
Mm-hmm. You want to do a rivet? I think you should.
Sure.
Put your pin down in that hole. And so when you squeeze that once, nothing will happen. But then
There's
when,
not going to be a shrapnel bomb in my face.
well, only if you mess up.
Did you buy this at Harbor Freight?
No?
I'm not doing this.
Does that seem so hard? There, just like that.
Just like that.
All right, Kelly, now we need to flip this whole thing around. We're gonna take it here and turn it 180 this way. Counterclockwise for you. Ready?
Now we gotta do it all again on this side. In preparation for the big splash, and with only weeks to work in the convenience of our own boatyard, we're really cramming to get a lot of projects completed. Because soon, we'll have to account for things like travel time, tool and material storage, and most importantly, not getting kicked out of the marina for being that annoying boat that makes frequent, loud noises. So here are a few short clips of other projects we've been working on, like finishing up our electrical. This looks like madness. All the wires, switches. Yeah, there's probably a lot going on up there in that brain.
And Kelly is standing like a fiend.
Huh?
All right. Look at that. And that sits right into it. Pretty cool. Stop by to visit the solar arch. It's looking good. It's in lots of different pieces.
Stay tuned for updates as we keep plugging along.
We're back.
We're back. Day 37 of Mast.
It just feels like day 37 because we filmed a lot more footage, but Kelly was like, this stuff's boring like when you were doing engine room stuff and I don't want to watch it. She said I could at least show you the result.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
The results are exciting.
Here it is. It's done.
It's all done.
We got the sleeve. It's stuck on there with thickened epoxy. Drink. I wish I could. We're not drinking right now. Trying to get our summer bods.
Yeah,
So I can't drink the alcohols.
it's almost July and we're now trying to get our summer bods.
Hey man, we've been going a whole month. riveted on and fastened down. I'm pretty happy with it. All the areas where two dissimilar metals are together have been buffered.
Cool.
And it's ready to go. The steaming light is on and installed.
Nice. Let me go around and look at that.
Sure. Isn't it cute?
It is cute.
So adorable.
Yeah.
Gotta hook that up to this, which brings us to the wiring. Here's this for the spreader lights.
Cool.
We have this 4-plex wire. Here's the 4-plex that goes all the way up to the masthead lights. And then you've got this little black wire that'll be our wind instrument, and this white wire that is for the VHF radio that will be attached down here and stick up in the air. Here's the upper tang. That's all in place except we're waiting on these 2 bolts. So we got to put the steps back on. We got to bolt the top on. Oh, one thing I will report is the astute may have noticed that I was holding these spreader attachments on as an example upside down.
Oh.
Caught that.
Rookie
flipped
move.
them over.
Yeah.
So now they're going the right way. They should flare up a little bit, not down a little bit. I don't know why I thought they would be like this. They should be like this.
Gotcha.
Stay tuned next week for more exciting fun, when we will probably deal with this little mast called the mizzen and work on all that boat electrical and hopefully do some carpentry up in the pilot house.
Yes.
We have officially exactly 2 weeks from today when the boat will be put back in the water, but there's a lot going on between now and then. So our time is limited, and it's going to be a crunch because you've seen this list.
Hey you, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw and you want to keep following along, become a subscriber. Just hit that subscribe button below. And special thanks to our patron crew. We really appreciate your support.
Because I have a tendency to get scatterbrained.
Run, Forrest.
Nobody wants to play with me when I'm in my cloud. Maybe because it's cutting muffins.